Hello everyone, and welcome to a new campaign on AGO version 3.2.4. That is the latest build, and we are playing as Gondor. Gondor is one of my favourite factions. I do enjoy the campaign. They've got loads of different generals, different units. It is primarily against Mordor, but obviously you do have Dol Guldur to the north, you have Isengard to the west, and potentially and Harad and the Adonai to the south as well. So it can make for quite an interesting campaign. You are somewhat surrounded by enemies. You've got Dol Amroth as a bit of a buffer to the south, and obviously Rohan to the west. But in AGO, I've found that Rohan tends to get absolutely crushed by the combined might of Dunland and Isengard. So you sort of have to help or defend your western territories anyway. Obviously, you've got Enedwaith to the far west as well. They generally attack where they can. I recently played a campaign. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It went rather well. I'm hoping I can replicate some of that good fortune in this campaign. We don't lose, Faramir and Boromir in the first 10 turns or something like that. So as I say, it's quite a large stack domain. We have a lot of generals. Most are free upkeep in the AGO mod, which is quite nice. Obviously, there's been a lot of changes. If we look briefly at the faction overview, obviously these are all the different scripts for this particular faction. Just to quickly go through, obviously you can read them as well in your own time. But we can get Rohan mercenaries, which is very nice. They get a lot of cavalry, and that is something that Gondor tend to lack early game. We can reunite the kingdom, which is very cool, from the Gondor side. It's to do with Faramir, and it triggers after turn 50, so we'll cover that in more detail when and if we get there. Beacons of Gondor, again, this is to do with Rohan. So as long as they hold a certain amount of settlements and specific ones, they'll send reinforcements every so often. So that is something to bear in mind. It is quite helpful as well, because like I say, early on I do think Gondor lacks cavalry, and they seem to provide you with quite a few cavalry units and a general as well, which is quite nice. Denethor's madness, so he just slowly goes obviously mad. He despair. He doesn't like losing. I'm not sure what you can do to sort of counteract that. I don't know if it helps by winning battles. I assume you can sort of put a stop to it by defeating Mordor. Again, something we'll have to keep an eye on. Fief recruitment. Obviously, Gondor has a lot of different fiefdoms. We can recruit Dol Amroth units from a specific settlement. We can get some new units like Ringlore Pikemen, Lamedon Clansmen, things like that. Pinnithgelen Footmen. There's some really cool units. So we'll see them obviously as we get further into the campaign. Control Dol Amroth. You can do this from the settings, I think, and the start of the game. You can basically just merge Dol Amroth and Gondor into one faction. I don't think there's not a script to sort of do it during the campaign, though. I don't think that's the thing. You have to choose before you start the campaign. And of course we can reclaim Osgiliath, which we will be doing. If you hold Eastern and Western Osgiliath, then there's a small chance every turn that a unique general named Berthor will spawn. And I think he has Osgiliath veterans, which are a very cool unit. So yeah, just a brief overview. Now we have a few rebel armies across our land. We've got one here, just sort of southeast of Carathan. We have Kulas the Traitor. We need to take him out. Calrost is also a minor settlement, and this is rebel held. It's only got a small garrison though, so we can take that. We'll then try and prioritise Kirithiawa and Tharagrondost. I always like to try and take them. And then we also have Ishandor here, who's got a bunch of Corsair Reavers.
Once I capture you, your title will mean nothing.
Oh, he thinks he's going to capture me. Interesting. Yeah, just Corsair Reavers and a couple of archers as well. So again, we should be able to take them out pretty easily, I would think. Now we start with 12,000. The first thing I like to try and do is get mines up and running, because in Carathan you can get the mines. So you get nearly just over 700 gold from this one. 5 turns and just over 4,000 to build. It's one of the best mines you can get. But you can also get this in I always forget which one is in. Is it in Tarnost? So Tarnost get goods mines, but there is one that's better. It must be Calambel. Yeah. So again, we get over 700 gold, 5 turns, 4,500. So we'll get them. It is tempting to sort of try and go through and build something in every settlement. But I think first off, if we try and prioritise those, that's going to give us nearly 1,500 income in 5 turns, which is massive. And early doors, I like to try and make use of the forts. Obviously, Eastern Osgiliath is held by rebels, and it will take, well, I'm hoping, Mordor a couple of turns. So if we look at Minas Morgul, that's got a full stack. There's Gorbag just out front with a couple of Black Uruks as well. So they're quite decent units. He's got Morgul and Force as well, very strong unit. But we do have the Witch King here. Now this guy, he's got Temple Warlords. They're an insanely powerful cavalry unit. So we'd like to try and kill him as quickly as possible. Obviously, there's quite a few actually. We've got Nagdust Traitor, and then Osterthil is rebel held. And I think there's another army in the forest somewhere up here. But there's also a lot of changes I like to make with the generals. So as an example, we've got Hurin here. But I like him to go back to Carathan and become the governor.
Marchmen!
Because most of our generals come with Captain's Bodyguard. That's sort of our standard unit. They're very solid, dependable unit, 13 attack, 33 defense. But they're also free upkeep, which is massive. So if we send him back to Carathan, because Calamir, he has, as I'll show you in a second, he's got Knights of Anorian Bodyguard, which is a very good cavalry unit. And again, something what I alluded to earlier, is Gondor tends to struggle early game with cavalry. So he is somewhat invaluable, really. But he's not going to be the Lord of Carathan. And obviously he gets 20% mining increase, which is huge when we build those mines. So I'm going to dump all of the retinue that isn't really relevant to him. He's not going to be a governor. So anything to do with squalor, construction, mining, taxes, anything like that, I would put on Hurin. And equally, Hurin's not really going to be in a combat. So Guardian of Caer Andros, he's no longer the Guardian. He can keep the Warden of the Keys though, and that gives 20% public order, which is nice. Captain's Armour. So this is quite important, I think. Most generals, if not all, have some sort of Captain's Armour. They might have a unique one like a Belfalas or Ringlaw or whatever. And it generally gives you an extra hit point. And in some cases like this one, it gives you an increase in bodyguard size as well. So I'm going to stick that on Calamir. So that'll increase his bodyguard size and obviously make him more difficult to kill, which is what we want. So if I pull him out,
Marchmen! Don't fall behind.
we can see he gets Knights of Anorian. They've got an 8 attack, 10 charge, and a 20 defense. Very powerful, but they do cost nearly 500 gold. So early doors, he's going straight into that fort. Now, same for a lot of these Gondor units as well. These aren't free upkeep. And obviously, we're not going to get attacked in Western Osgiliath anytime soon. So I'm going to take these 3. And I'm going to dump them in this fort down here. I'm going to put these archers in this fort. Now, they are free upkeep, but I'm going to drag Faramir and those Athelian Rangers back to Caer Andros. Guardsmen we don't need there, so I'm going to pull them forward as well. They still get free upkeep in Caer Andros, so that's fine. And what I will do actually is quickly pull him back. Faramir is probably going to stay in Caer Andros for some time. He's going to defend that. We won't be pushing out. So I'm going to give that to Faramir. And then has Faramir got anything that I could give? He has got essentially his own version of Athelian Rangers. Sorry, I didn't showcase that, did I? We have got a bit of movement left. I think they're called, Captain's Rangers. So 11 attack, 5 missile attack, and a 17 defense. Pretty good. Effective against armor. If we look at Thilium Rangers, they're just a slightly better version. Although I think Thilium Rangers have got 6 missile attacks, so they've got better. Yeah, they do. So Thilium Rangers are obviously a better ranger unit, but Faramir's unit's slightly more aggressive and has got a bit more defense as well, a bit more survivability, which is nice.
Onward.
Yeah, so have we got anything that we can increase the hit points on Calamir? I don't think so. No. Obviously we did have the, I think, is it the Horn? And we've got this, which gives him +1 hit point. Not the Horn. It must have just been that. But obviously we don't want to make Faramir completely squishy, because he's going to be doing a lot of fighting. Right, so Calamir can go back in the fort.
Forward.
Now, Denethor, he comes with his own unique bodyguard, also free, which I'll show you in a second. I think they're called the Steward's Guard. It's a little bit cheesy, if you want to call it that. But if you move here to this tile, you have to move directly from Minas Tirith. You basically get ambushed by the rebel army, as I'll show you. Now, I generally only found this out because I moved him there to build a tower, because it was annoying me that I didn't have a little bit of oversight in that forest. So I moved him there, he triggered the ambush, and I was like, oh my god. And it's essentially 5 units of Druidine Hunters. They're not the best unit. I mean, they're not terrible either, to be fair. They've got a 4 missile attack, which is pretty good. They also have poison arrows as well. They've got high accuracy, so they're quite a decent ranged unit. 6 melee attack and a 7 defense, and there's 5 of them. So I thought, oh Christ. So anyway, I just auto-resolved it, as I'm going to do now. And you just win the fight very easily. I think you would easily win it as well, to be fair, if you force it manually. So some people might think it's a little bit cheesy, but yeah, if we look at his units, he has the Steward's Guard. They've got a 15 attack and a 39 defense. And they're relentless as well. So they are a phenomenal unit. The trouble with Denethor is, a lot of his retinue, it's you can't transfer it to anyone else. And he makes around 1,000 gold a turn if you leave him in Minas Tirith, as we'll see when we put him back next turn. So that's the tricky thing. His bodyguard's really good. He would slaughter hundreds, if not thousands, of orc trash. But he's also a really good governor. So I tend to keep him in Minas Tirith to make all that lovely money. Boromir is going to sit in Western Osgiliath. But if I have a quick look at his unit, again, he's got a fantastic bodyguard. Boromir's company, they've got a 15 attack and a 32 defense. Very dependable. He can slaughter hundreds on his own as well. Then Karasast, now Forlong. He makes a little bit of money and he does improve population growth, but he does cost. Oh, no, he doesn't. He's free upkeep. Interesting. I thought he did cost money. So ignore me. He does have a unique bodyguard. They've got the Losanak Household Guard. They've got a 14 attack and a 23 defense, and they are armor piercing as well. So because he's not an amazing governor, he's okay, but he's got a very good unit, and they're armor piercing as well. So they come in handy against, say, Nazgul units. So we are going to use him. So I'm going to stick him in this fort down here for now. But obviously we know that he costs nothing, which is very handy. And then as we move across, we've got Pelagia, which is held by Orodreth. He's just got a unit of Lebanon Guardsmen, I think they're called. Yeah. A 7 attack, 17 defense, and 7 missile attack. Low accuracy. They're not a very good unit, I don't think, personally. I mean, they're okay. They've got a couple of javelins. So, I mean, he's obviously a very good governor. He's unlikely to see any combat. But you see the army, this is what I'm talking about. So it gives you +1 hit point. So that's quite useful to give to generals that are going to be fighting. So what I'm going to do is take these 3 units. I know he's free upkeep, but I'm going to move them to this fort. And then I'm going to stick this unit in the fort as well. And then we have Hanion. He's just got the Ben Guardsman as well. So he will become free upkeep eventually. I think we've got a recruitment slot. We just need to build... Town Guard, sorry. Yeah, we just need to build the meeting hall. And then he'll become free upkeep. But I want to do a bit more with my money first before I build anything, which we'll come back to in a second. So Tuolin, he's got the captain's bodyguard, so that's just standard. So I don't mind keeping him there. We'll send the guardsman over to the fort.
Yes.
Tarnost, we've got Eorthen. So again, another good cavalry bodyguard. Royal Swan Guard, 11 attack, 16 charge bonus, and a 35 defense. Absolutely fantastic. I love Dol Amroth. If I haven't told you before, Dol Amroth is my favourite faction. So anytime we can get some Dol Amroth units, I will be. Now with him, I try and send him around to these generals over here, because most of these will be staying as governors. And they've got, you know, the armour retinue or certain things that they're not going to be needing. And I think, has he got anything? He's got Lord of Tarnos, which actually gives him increase to mining. So I will give that to another general, but the rest he'll keep. So if we send him to Ethring, so Dervin here, he's a fantastic governor. He does have a mining advisor, which is a bit odd because you can't get mines in Ethring, but you can get them in Calambel. So what I'm going to do, we should be alright for a turn. So Dol Amroth, they cost quite a bit, 250.
Orders. As you wish.
So we'll send them in the fort. And then next turn, I'll do just recruit a unit actually, because these will be free upkeep. Yeah, so maybe I'll come back to that. So Dervin, you can keep everything you've got apart from the ceremonial armor. It gives you +1 hit points, so we're going to give that to Eorthen. And likewise, we're going to get Lord of Tarnost to Dervin. And then what I would like to do is I'll send Eorthen up there as well, and the pikemen.
By your command.
So with the units around here, we're basically just going to combine them into a small army. We'll take Kulas the Traitor, and then we'll take Karost as well. So Angbor the Fearless, he's got a unique general's bodyguard. He's got Lamadon champions. These do cost money. So they've got a 14 attack and a 22 defense. A very decent unit indeed. They do cost money, so we are going to move him out. There's no point keeping him as a governor. And he doesn't really have anything that makes him a really good governor either. But what I will be doing is moving Dervin over to Calambel, because that is where we're going to get the mines. And he's now got quite a few retinue that increase the mining output. So you got an extra 10% there, which is quite nice. So you guys are staying there for now. We can move the Blackroot Vale Archers. We could move them in the fort for a turn. That would make them free upkeep. How much do they cost? They cost 250 as well. And then likewise a unit in Edek. We just want to make sure that we're not close enough to get attacked. So yeah, so we'll merge these together. Morthalin, Derifin, he'll stay in there. He's Blackroot Vale Archer. But again, he's not going to need his armour. So I'll probably take that and give it to Eorthen. Can we move him out? I could do. I'll do it next turn.
Captain of Gondor. Onward.
And same for Dwyn here as well.
Marchmen.
He's got Blackroot Vale Archers. And he's got some armour as well, which we'll probably take.
Forward.
Actually, is it the same? Because you can't give the same retinue to... What's happening here? There we go. Ceremonial Morthond Veil Armor. Yeah, so we can't take both. So we'll just take one. So that's fine. Cerulond, Pinithgelin, not cavalry, footmen. These are one of the featum units.
As you wish.
They look very cool. They're essentially just a replacement for the basic Gondor unit. Like the territorial watchmen, I think. So we'll stick them in there. Helluin's got a very cool bodyguard as well. The Riders of the Green Hills. Essentially just a better version of Pinithgelin cavalry, as you can tell there. 22 defense, 8 attack, 10 charge. So again, another good cavalry unit. We also get a unit of Amphalas herders, and then we have Gilazgil. So he's quite a good governor. He also gets a really cool unit, which is Amphalas Strand Guard. Very dependable melee infantry, 10 attack, 27 defense, effective against armor as well. But yeah, he's quite a good governor. He's got quite a few traits. So what I will do is keep him in there. Amphalas herders, they're quite cheap. They're cheaper than the Pinithgelin footmen. So I'm going to send them to Cerulond.
Yes. As you wish.
And then I'm going to send Helluin to Lond Galen. And he can grab the Amphalas armor. So that'll increase his hit points. And then he can come east and join up with the army there. And then lastly, we've got Anulond. So Dunenian, he comes with Amphalas herdsmen, which they're basically just like a slinger unit. They're not very good, I don't think. I'm not a big fan of them. But again, he's going to be a governor. We're not going to do too much with him. So he can stay. I think they cost some money though, yeah, because it's an actual unit. But again, we can make them free upkeep. We do need to get the archery range and the meeting hall though. So for the time being, we'll take the guardsmen and stick them in the fort.
As you wish.
God, this is a lot of waffling. I do apologise. I'm exhausted myself now, just talking. We're nearly at the end of the first turn. So obviously immediately we can get Fountain Guard. These are one of the best units we can recruit. They are absolutely fantastic. They just slaughter hordes and hordes of orcs on their own. They've got 7 attack, 22 defense. So we'll grab them. And I'm going to get another spy. I don't want a diplomat just yet. I'm not really in any rush. And then we'll also grab the Gondor infantry and spearmen. We'll queue them up and start recruiting them next turn. So you can see with all of the movement we've done, we have increased our income slightly. It's not huge, but it obviously will become better as time goes on. You could increase it further by making your capital Ethring Tarnost area. But with AGO, as you can see, that's the wrong one. I always do that. It costs 12,000. So they've basically made it so depending on how large your faction is or how many settlements you control, the more cost it's gonna, or the more costly it'll be to change your capital. So they've basically done it so people sort of keep the traditional capital, if you will, of the faction. So for example, you know, Gondor, the capital is Minas Tirith. It's not going to be, you know, Tarnost, is it, or Ethring. But that would help. That would probably gain another 1,000 or so gold, and obviously help with public order as well. But by the time you've pushed into Mordor and taken the settlements, Minas Tirith is somewhat central anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. Right, I think that's it. We do have a bit of money left. We've got 1,000, or just over. So I think what I will do, we could get a couple of units of guardsmen, or I could build, I mean they cost 280, so if I grab that, that means he'll be free upkeep in 2 turns, and then I should have enough to grab another unit of guardsmen. There we go. So yeah, Caer Andros normally gets attacked quite early, I would say. Yeah, apologies for the long ass introduction there. That was nearly the first episode of just me going through. Obviously, we're going to get these messages for a while. As I say, that's the priority, to try and take the rebels as quickly as possible. So Osterthil, we're unlikely to take that, I would say. So Tarnost and Serlond do not like us. Oh yes, of course, we can sort that out.
Captain of Gondor.
Helluin, you can go to Morthalin. No, actually no, you go to Edek.
Let us set up camp.
And what we'll do is we'll grab doing his armour.
Orders.
You can go in the fort. I probably should have recruited that unit, but for now, what I'll do is I'll stick the guardsmen in there.
As you wish.
That'll stop that from rebelling. Then Eorthen, you can go
Onward.
over here, and I'll take Derethan's armour. Now you can come back, I think. We don't want to do anything else with Eorthen. Well, let's do actually. I want him to hit Brethil and Pelagi to grab their armour as well. We're just going to make him as tanky as possible. And then what we can do next turn is swing the Blackroot Vale archers round. And we'll take these guys out as well. And then we'll hit Kulus.
Captain of Gondor.
Hopefully that should be enough.
Maintain order.
I think Helluin, yeah, he might be out ever so slightly. Well, they're saying that the archers aren't going to make it either in one turn, are they? So, yeah, we'll hit him first, and then we'll send Helluin to Eric. Get rid of that army. Otherwise, he's just going to keep causing devastation, isn't he? Right, so here, we're Ministerius. We're earning 1,326. If we put Denethor back in, that shoots up by 1,000. So, as you can see, he does make a hell of a lot when he's general. Oh, do you know what? I'm an absolute idiot. I've also forgot one of the best generals we've got. So here, because it's not obvious, he does sort of hide underneath. When you've got this up here, you can't really see the banner. But we have actually got Beragon, which I completely forgot about. He's got to be our most expensive general, I think. He costs 520 gold. But he does have Citadel Guard, and they are a phenomenal unit. He also has Drill Master, which this is something else I forgot to do. So he gets Captain of the Citadel Guard, which gives him a -10 to recruitment cost, and then Drill Master, which gives the same. So it actually gives you a -20% recruitment cost. So what I should have done, and I completely forgot about, is you put him in Ministerius, you give them to Denethor, and then obviously he saves you a buttload of money when you recruit these troops. You know, 20% on 1,400. That's, what, nearly 300 gold. And then here as well, nearly 200 apiece. So you do save quite a lot of money. So that is what I'm going to do now. And the reason I tend to give them both to Denethor is because obviously at the minute, Ministerius is only the real place where we can recruit, you know, our best units. We can recruit territorial units, but they're not very good and they don't cost that much. But what I need to do, so I'm going to put the swordsman in the fort in the north, and then Beragond in the fort in the south, because Angbor is still free upkeep. So that doesn't actually matter. But yeah, if we did that properly, I would have saved another 800 or so, as you can see there. We're earning loads of money now. So yes, do not forget about Beragond if you play this campaign. We do have another spy. We have got Angmar, the Witch King, sorry.
Who is out there?
Which can be a tricky fight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Boromir.
Forward.
I'll take Calamir as well.
Marchmen.
How dare you?
And then we're going to take out Gorbag, his Black Uruks, and we're going to take out the Witch King as well. And hopefully
Forward.
not die. Do I grab another unit of Rangers?
Maintain onward.
Oh, I should have grabbed some farmhand volunteers instead.
Forces of Gondor.
Yeah, let's grab the farmhand volunteers.
Forward.
They'll come in handy against
Quell
the
this
Witch King.
evil. We have
So if we
vanquished
attack
the enemy.
Gorbag,
Let us prepare for this
Assail
war.
the enemies of Gondor.
he's obviously got Black Uruks, he's got the Morgul
For
forces as well.
Gondor. For Gondor. Break their will.
So a very early option. Or early encounter, should I say. To try and kill the Witch King. So we attack Gorbag, so the Witch King should be coming in from this side somewhere. So if I set up over here, I'm thinking if we just try and kill the Witch King as fast as possible. And we've got you as well. Right, fine.
The
Where's he
enemy are
coming
bringing
in?
in
There he is, right.
reinforcements.
Quick as you can. Let's fast forward this. You guys get up here as well. So it does look like they're going to try and... Oh, they're staying on the hill. That's interesting. Right, I need you guys to shoot him then. And bring him across if you can. Oh, and they've just got out of range as well. That's going to be very annoying, isn't it? Hurry up and chase after him. Right, stop, 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 stop. Start shooting at him. Farmhand Pikeman, I would like you to try and take the brunt of this charge, if possible. If you could, that would be very nice. I mean, the Ithilien Rangers, oh my god. We might kill him just with the Rangers. Getting absolutely annihilated. Right, you guys stop firing. Yeah, it makes sense to just run through the units. Why not? Alright, Boromir, get involved. How many's left? There's only 5 of them. Quickly kill these before these chaps come. I would like to try and get on this hill, if I could. Archers, you move around to get out of the way. Because these guys can start firing then. On the Uruks that are approaching. So you guys start firing. Who's left? Is it literally just the Witch King? It looks like it. Right, you take him out. Farmhand Pikeman. And then we'll grab these 2 as well. Pull them up. How are you guys getting on? Look at these as well. The model looks absolutely fantastic. I know, just not bothered about the men dying slowly. But the shields as well, just awesome. How many has he killed? This is insane. I mean, they're meant to be skilled against mounts. He's killed... How many? 17? Oh my god. Finally. The Witch King's just killed like 25 cavalry on his own. That's madness.
For Gondor, for the
That's
White City.
absolute madness. I honestly can't believe that's just happened. He literally had one... Oh wow, the Ithilien Rangers have been torn apart by these archers. Shoot them back, you bloody dumbasses. God. Yeah, that was insane. But we've killed them anyway. I'm not sure how long it takes. Is it every 15 turns the Nazgul spawn, I think? Kill those Morgul forces if you can. Boromir should be alright. He should be able to solo most of these on his own, I think.
Only half the enemy force remains.
Keep getting the cavalry to take out the archers. I mean, they are taking quite a few casualties, but... You guys target these orcs for me. Those are running, so that's alright. I think we got most of the archers, haven't we? Finish them off. Yep, that's all the archers dead. Black orcs, they should probably rout. Let's charge these in the rear if we can.
Behold how our
This just went
foe
flying.
runs. It's time to press the
Oh,
attack.
that cavalry charge. Fantastic. I think that's it, isn't it? Yeah, that'll do.
The enemy are utterly vanquished.
Not too bad.
This is a great victory, worthy of only the mightiest of generals.
We lost 322. We lost a lot more rangers than I would have liked. The farmhand and watchman I'm not bothered about, which is where most of the casualties went. But yeah, we did lose nearly 60 rangers, 27 knights of an Orient, and I'm sure the Witch King killed about 25 there. He's just twatting them down one by one. It was so powerful. I know that made it look somewhat easy because he just stood there and let us shoot him. So the rangers did most of the damage. But honestly, the Witch King, they're so powerful. And like I said, they'll be back in, is it 15, maybe even 10 turns? That's the biggest pain in the ass. He's fighting the Nazgul every 15 or so turns.
They are gone from these lands.
But that is essentially what we're going to
Let us
keep
stand together.
doing every so often.
My lord,
We can bring the spy out now.
approaching
I will defend my
quietly.
people.
I shall continue tomorrow.
So, well, everyone just goes back in actually.
Together,
Onward.
men of Gondor.
And then Calamir, you go back to the fort.
Forward.
Got quite a bit of loot though, which is nice. That always helps. Boromir, you probably don't need to stay in there, but we will retrain the guardsmen. Yeah, so next time we'll move Boromir back. So we'll just try and defend Caer-Andros for a while. So we probably will keep selling out, trying to attack the smaller armies if possible.
My lord,
And we've got a bit of money now, so what do we want to do?
Forces of Gondor.
Stick them in there, that'll make them free. Tarnost. What I do need is a unit over here, really. Because I want to move Dervin out to Calambel. So we'll get a unit of... They won't be free yet, will they? No. Get a unit of clansmen. They're slightly cheaper.
Maintain order.
And what about over here as well? I think if we get a meeting hall, no, because we need to get the archery range as well, don't we, to make them free upkeep. So that's not ideal right now. We probably want to focus over here, don't we? So recruitment wise, Citadel we get 4 free upkeep. And we have 2 recruitment slots. Western Osgiliath, we have 3 and 2 recruitment slots. So we probably want to build meeting halls in both of these, don't we? That would make sense. So let's grab it in Caer-Andros. Also, in Western Osgiliath, we have Ruined Dome of Stars. This is nasty. It gives you a minus 25% public order to happiness, and it's a global effect. That's huge. But it costs an absolute fortune to rebuild. So 10 turns and 25,000 gold. Obviously we will be building up the Mason's Hall before we even think about getting that. But yeah, it's a huge negative effect. But I am going to end this one here. I think we've done everything we want to do on this turn. So we'll start the episode on an end turn, as I always do. Oh, do you know what? The one thing I forgot to do with Denethor was put a tower down. And that was literally the reason why I moved him there. I'll send Calumet there next turn. It's just annoying that this little bit here you don't have visibility of. Nothing will ever go there, but it just annoys me. So I need to put a watchtower there. But yeah, so we'll carry on next episode. We'll defeat Kulis, hopefully take Karost as well in the next episode. And then with the rest of our army, we'll move west and capture Tharagrandost and then Kirithiawa. And we'll see what other rubbish Mordor wants to throw at us. But I hope you guys have enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I shall catch you all in the next one.